Let's be real. How did an old man supposedly build a ship the size of a football field with no modern tools? How did lions, tigers, and wolves chill on the same boat for months without turning it into an all-you-can-eat buffet? And why do some ancient texts suggest Noah had help, not from ordinary men, but from giants? What if I told you that Noah's Ark wasn't just a Bible story, but an actual historical event? That ancient cultures, scientific discoveries, and even some of the wildest theories out there all point to the possibility that this flood really happened? Stay tuned, because we're breaking it all down. The facts, the myths, and the secrets they don't tell you in Sunday school. This is a hot topic, and we know people have opinions. From the giants theory to the flood itself, there are some wild ideas out there. Some backed by evidence, others by faith. But what do you think? Drop a comment below and let's talk about it. No matter where you stand, there's nothing wrong with a little healthy debate. We'd love to hear what you think. Do you believe giants walked the earth? Could they have helped Noah build the ark? Or is that just another exaggerated legend? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Welcome to Scriptures Remixed, the place where we take Bible stories and break them down, raw, real, and for today's culture. Today we're talking about Noah's Ark. Was it real? Could it have actually happened? And what about all the crazy details people love to debate? Like giants helping build the ark, animals being put into a supernatural sleep, and the possibility that this wasn't just a small local flood, but a worldwide reset? Let's get into it. Why did God send the flood? By the time we reach Genesis 6, humanity has gone off the rails. Corruption, violence, and wickedness are out of control. God looks at the earth and sees that his creation has turned into pure chaos. Genesis 6:5-7 says, "And God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. And it repented the Lord that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart. And the Lord said, I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth." But in the middle of all this madness, one man stood out. But Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. Now, before we get into the flood, let's address one of the biggest criticisms of this story. How did Noah, a 500-year-old man, build a massive ship with no modern equipment? Could Noah have built the ark alone? Let's be honest, this was no small boat. Based on the Bible's measurements, the ark was about 450 feet long, 75 feet wide, and 45 feet high, roughly the size of a modern aircraft carrier. Now, did Noah build this by himself? I know that you are thinking, probably not, ain't no way. Here's what we need to consider. Ancient construction methods. People in ancient times built incredible structures, think the pyramids or the megalithic temples of Malta, without modern machines. They had advanced knowledge of woodworking, stone cutting, and engineering that's still debated today. Noah had help. Genesis doesn't explicitly say Noah built the ark alone. He had 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, who likely helped. There could have been hired workers or even others who helped out of curiosity or financial gain. The giants theory. Now, let's talk about one of the most controversial theories, the Nephilim. The idea that Noah may not have built the ark alone, but that he had help from giants. Genesis 6:4 tells us, "There were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them, the same became mighty men which were of old, men of renown." Some believe that these mighty men of renown were Nephilim, half-human, half-angelic beings. If they existed, could they have helped build the ark? Think about it. These weren't your average construction workers. If the Nephilim were real, their sheer strength and size could explain how such a massive structure was built. And here's the kicker. there's actual evidence that giants may have existed. Some ancient texts, including the Book of Enoch, suggest that Noah was not the only one building the ark. Some believe the Nephilim, giants described in Genesis 6:4, helped him construct it. If these beings were as strong as the legends say, it could explain how such a massive structure was built in a time with no heavy machinery. Other ancient texts and even some archaeological findings point to the possibility that humans, or something else, once grew to incredible sizes. Massive skeletal remains, oversized tools, and even biblical references suggest that giants weren't just myths. Cultures all over the world, from the ancient Sumerians to the Native Americans, have stories of giant beings who walked the earth. Wild, right? But that's not the only mind-blowing part of this story. Let's talk about the animals. How did the animals survive? This is another big question skeptics love to ask. How did lions, wolves, and bears peacefully share a confined space with deer, rabbits, and sheep? Here are a few theories. Divine intervention. God specifically instructed Noah to take animals 2 by 2. Genesis 7:9. If he was orchestrating this, it's not a stretch to believe he also supernaturally kept them from attacking each other. Hibernation or sedation. Some scientists suggest that many animals, especially carnivores, could have been put into a sleep-like state, similar to how certain species hibernate today. If this happened, they wouldn't need as much food or movement. Herbal sedatives. Ancient civilizations had knowledge of natural herbs and plants that induce sleep. Some believe Noah and his family may have used natural methods to keep the animals calm and less aggressive. So, no, this wasn't an episode of National Geographic gone wrong. There are plausible ways this could have worked. But now, let's get into the biggest question of them all. Did the flood actually happen? Where did all the water go? All right, let's tackle one of the biggest questions skeptics love to ask. If the whole earth was flooded, where did all that water go? Did it just disappear? Evaporate? Or is it still here, hiding in plain sight? Let's break it down. 1. It went back into the oceans. Over 70% of Earth is covered in water, far more than needed to flood the entire planet if it was distributed differently. If the pre-flood world had shallower oceans and higher land, then the floodwaters could have simply returned to deeper ocean basins as land masses shifted. 2. It's trapped, deep underground. Scientists have discovered massive subterranean reservoirs of water locked inside the Earth's crust. Some estimates suggest there's more water beneath the surface than in all the oceans combined. 3. It froze into the ice caps. Some believe a portion of the floodwaters froze, forming the polar ice caps and glaciers we have today. 4. Earth's geography changed. Psalm 104:8 suggests that after the flood, mountains rose and valleys sank, reshaping the landscape to accommodate the receding water. Some water may have escaped into space. A speculative theory suggests that over time, some water molecules escape into space due to atmospheric loss. So no, the floodwaters didn't just disappear. They reshaped the Earth. The evidence? It's all around us. What does this mean for us? The flood wasn't just about destruction. It was about obedience, salvation, and second chances. Noah listened when no one else did. He prepared when people laughed at him. And because of that, he survived what others didn't. Even if you don't believe this event happened exactly as written, or at all, the meaning behind the story is still powerful. It's about the consequences of corruption, the reward of faithfulness, and the reality of second chances. The flood was about washing away the old and starting anew, something we all need at some point in our lives. But this story doesn't end here. What if I told you that what happened after the flood was just as shocking? What was the first thing Noah did when he left the ark? And how did one unexpected moment change the course of history? You won't believe where this story leads next. Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and join us next time as we dive deeper into the hidden truths of the Bible. We're breaking down the Bible to build up faith. See you in the next one.